Good evening, everybody. This is Steve Stratford, Pratt Cattle Chat, and after a couple week vacation here I'm back. The state of the cattle business the last couple weeks and this week, as far as I'm concerned, has turned into more than just a cattle business problem. It's turned into a United States economics problem. You've got packers avos this morning profiting, not gross, but profiting upwards of $22,300 a head processing cattle on 480, 500,000 of them a week. That is $1 billion a week. $1 billion a week. $4 billion a month. Wrap your mind around those figures. You've got a United States government that's trying to figure out how to keep the cattlemen in business with a $9 billion bailout plan. And we're letting four major companies profit $4 billion a week. And our government's going to mail us a check to stay in business. So this has turned into, as far as I'm concerned, an American taxpayer problem. You have packers that are screwing the American consumer, elevating the price of beef, keeping the entire margin for themselves, the cattlemen at a level that the United States government's going to have to send them a check. And so the taxpayer in this country is not only paying an exorbitant amount for their meat at the store, that the people that raise it get nothing for, they're also paying taxes to a government that is going to bail us out to keep us in business so we can supply you safe food in the future. And keep in mind, while we're doing that, a good part of the major four packers, our government is allowed to be foreign owned, and that money isn't even going to stay in the United States. Let them make $250 million, which sounds exorbitant to me, and that leaves $750 million a week that would be returned down through the cattle chain to these rural communities. Turns over 2.5 times. That's $2 billion a week getting sucked out of every one of these ag communities across the United States that's struggling. $2 billion a week. Those figures should be alarming to every senator, every congressman, every attorney general, every taxpayer, everybody in the beef business. It's no longer just concerning to the American cattleman. This should be concerning to every American citizen. It is total rape and pillage, and it is absolutely going to destroy the economies of rural America. So, even though we all have different ideas and we want to argue of which way's the best to handle it, we even try to throw our contemporaries under the bus if we don't agree with what they're doing. I applaud everybody that has an idea, that is reaching out, that is putting it out there for other people to discuss, and is trying. Because we are bringing attention to it. People are noticing. I have random calls and many, many people reach out and text and message. So many I can't return them all, and I apologize for a lot of that. But I do read them all. I do appreciate it. None of us have the exact answers. But as a whole, I think we can all come up with answers that will help. But we've got to keep making noise. We've got to keep driving the attention at this. I would like to thank Chip Roy, a congressman from Texas that reached out and had a conference call with earlier in the week. They're researching it, trying, inquiring on what needs to be done. Ruth Reichel, which is an American food writer, was on the eastern part of the United States. She's on PBS. I had a Zoom call with her. I would like to very much thank her for trying to bring awareness to this and her concern. And when those people are calling a nothing like me in the middle of Kansas, that shows that it's gaining attention. People are looking at it, and they're wanting information. So we've got to keep making noise. You've got to keep bugging your representatives and your senators and your attorney generals and the people you do business with. every organization for ag and cattlemen and insurance and on and on and on. Every big business, every one of them names that stand out, that people in positions of power recognize is going to help us and help us immensely. You know, the American housewife, these lady with a cooking show, they have a lot more outreach than we do as individuals. So we need to keep getting the message out, and we need to keep everybody preaching that it's a broken system. While I was thinking, like Mrs. Reichel and Mr. Chip Roy, I'd also like to bring to attention, where's Kansas? There's 11 attorney generals that signed investigation into the Packer. Kansas wasn't one of them. I've had numerous congressmen and senators message or reach out to me. Kansas, not one of them. That's a problem. Take the American cattle business out of Kansas and see what you've got left. You know, I hope Kansas gets on track. Other states' cattle organizations have started to fight for the producer. What about Kansas's? I haven't seen it. You know, the cover your ass trade explanations. Well, Packers are making $2,290. As far as I'm concerned, save it. You know, put your money where your mouth is. You know, put your mouth behind the producers that give you the money. But I applaud everybody. I thank everybody. And again, I'd like to drive home the fact that we may not all agree, but everybody that's bringing awareness, everybody that's trying to come up with an idea, everybody is trying to make it better. So let's try not to, disregard or demean the people's ideas, because we're all working for the same goal. And I'd like to see it get us across the finish line. The heat's on. People are noticing. Let's keep the pressure on. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next time.